Good morning, students. I had some questions about how to do the physical environment assignments, so I'm trying a screencast to show that to you. So here we are on the Canvas page, and I'd like you to start with the US and Canada because it's set up kind of like an assignment, as an example. So if you'll just open up on the assignment, click here, the map resources, and it'll open up a Google document that shows the different maps that you'll want to refer to. I would just have that open in a separate tab. The quiz questions are actually right here on the last slide of the assignment, but I'm going to start at the beginning. That's just the political map. You don't really have to use that one. It's just a guideline just to show you what the basically the political boundaries are of the country, of the region. This physical map is the one that's going to be most helpful to you on the quiz, and it has a lot of the different landforms and water systems that will be on the quiz. So I would have that one available, and then you'll be referring, and they show in Canvas, to the climate, the physical map, the climate map, and the population density map. So if we go over to the quiz, let me get to that one. So if I preview the quiz, it'll show what it looks like for you. So if you look down here, just look at the other, let me see if I can get two windows going here and have the map open on this side. Okay, so there's our physical map. It's going to be a little bit hard to see in this view. Okay, that works. Alright, so the first one is the Rocky Mountains were formed by geologic forces pushing slabs of rock upwards. The Rocky Mountains link the United States and Canada, stretching more than 3,000 miles from New Mexico to Alaska. Now the part in bold is the part you really need to see, but the other is good information. So I see the Rocky Mountains right here, so if I look back on my quiz map, oh, there it is. It's down below. Okay, so it looks to me like the Rocky Mountains would follow this line of mountains here on the map, so that should be number 5. So you would just go here and select number 5. Okay, the Mount McKinley and the Alaska Range. Well, I know Alaska's up north. Oh, and there's Mount McKinley. So let's look over here on our map. It's the highest point on the North American continent. Oh, and I notice I left a T off. So number 2 looks like it's Mount McKinley. So go through and select that, and just go on through the rest of them. The next question is the water systems. So the Mackenzie River flows from the Great Slave Lake to the Arctic Ocean, draining much of Canada's northern interior. So we're going to be looking in northern Canada for that one. There's the Great Slave Lake, and there's the Mackenzie River. So if we look over here on this map, looks like that is C. So all of the water systems will be the letters that are in black on your quiz map. Okay, the next one is the Mississippi River, and that one is right here. It tells us that it flows, flows from Minnesota to the Gulf of Mexico. There's the Gulf of Mexico. Here's the Mississippi River. So if we look on this map, the Mississippi is A. So you'll just go through those, and then the third question, you're comparing these. If you look at the physical map, the climate map, and then the population density maps, then you'll answer the questions. So the first question, where do the largest populations live in the United States and Canada? So as I looked at this, I saw that the darker red and purple are the highest population areas. So we've got a lot of population over here in the eastern United States, and here along the coast, only a few small pockets of more populated areas in the middle area. In Canada, hardly any of it has high levels of population, just right here along the eastern edge and here in Vancouver. So I answered these ones as an example for the type of answers I want on the other ones. So the largest populations in the United States are near the coast in the west and over much of the eastern half of the country. In Canada, the most populated areas are near Vancouver in the southwest part of Canada and on the southeast coast near Toronto and Montreal. Next question, what is there about those areas, climate and physical features, that would attract more people? And so if I look at here on the climate, you can see the area that's more populated fits almost perfectly in this green zone here, which if we look at the climate map, tells us that's humid subtropical and marine, humid subtropical and humid continental. And then the more populated areas here along the western coast are marine west coast and let's see, the orange one is Mediterranean. So my response here says the climate seems to make a big difference in where people settle. In the United States, most people live on the eastern half of the country, which are humid continental and humid subtropical climate zones, and so on. So it's just basically explaining why people would want to live in those areas. And then the last question is, why would they not want to live in the others? So I looked at this area here where we have less population and this area here, and I think we have two different reasons on this one. If we look back at the climate map, this area where there's not very many people living, if we look, that's all steppe and desert climate. This area in Canada where not very many people live is all subarctic and tundra. So these are much colder areas than many people would want to live. These are much drier areas than many people would want to live. And so my response on that one refers to that. So that's what you do on these. You just go through and kind of reason why people would want to live where they do and why they would not want to live in the places where we don't have very many. I hope that helps clarify this. We have, let me go back to the home page on Canvas. We have, I think, 5 available now. I want you to do the, that's not where I want to go. I want you to do the US and Canada first as an example, and then do 3 of the others for the rest of this week. Now that we have the news that we'll be going another 4 weeks after spring break, 2 of those weeks we'll be finishing up the other ones here. I still need to get the rest of these online, but if you plan on doing 3 per week, I think that's pretty, shouldn't be too time consuming for you, and it'll still keep you learning about the world and the physical features that each of these regions has. Good luck, and if you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to email me. Thank you.